The landscape of GTA Online has changed so much over the past 9 years that starting up as a beginner in 2022 can actually be quite a challenging experience. Fortunately, Rockstar have tried to address the problem by implementing a career builder that introduces new players to the game with some much needed money and a few tools to help get them started. However, with recent buffs to both biker sell missions and nightclub popularity earnings, I felt that there was a need for a new beginner's money guide that covers both the career builder process and everything required after that to start building your GTA Online empire. If you do find the video useful, please do it a solid and tap the thumbs up button down below. After the introduction, you'll be greeted with this screen. You'll see your newly acquired $4 million in the top right hand corner, and you'll now have access to 4 different business paths: Executive, Gunrunner, Nightclub Owner, and Biker. Until recently, Executive or Gunrunner were the go-to, but with the buffs I mentioned earlier, the Nightclub is now the #1 choice when starting as a new player. In this breakdown I put together, you can see that the Coke Lockup, which is a part of the Biker path, requires 2 expensive upgrades and earns $683 per minute. Then the Bunker, which is a part of the gun running profession, also needs 2 expensive upgrades and makes $964 per minute. But the Nightclub at the end there, which only requires the basic upgrade included in the career builder, makes a whopping $1,042 per minute. Now that we've got the facts and figures out of the way, let's get the ball rolling and set you up with a nightclub. As we come into the menu here, you can see that you're given a choice of locations for your new business. You can essentially pick whatever you want from these menus, but keep in mind that from that $4 million that you were given, you can only take $1 million of that into the GTA world. So you need to choose wisely, as we want to have as much cash left over as possible, so that we can quickly start working towards buying a second business that will bring in the real money. With that being said, I highly suggest you go with the Mission Row nightclub. It has great highway access, it's central to everything, and honestly, I've bought a bunch of different locations over the years, and I truly feel Mission Row even beats out some of the more expensive options. From there, you'll need to select an upgrade pack, and this is really just picking the style for your nightclub, and since we're wanting to make money fast, just go with the cheapest one at the end here. As for vehicles, there's really only 2 choices to consider in my opinion. One is the Kuruma here, which is great for beginners and offers amazing bullet protection during missions. But if you want to make money the fastest way possible, and be able to take advantage of all the tips and tricks I provide in this video, you'll want to pick the Hatchet drag towards the end of the list. Then we've got guns, and this one's really simple, you're only going to need 2 in total. One is the Special Carbine, which is an absolute beast and will be your go-to weapon 99% of the time, but also grab a machine pistol as well. It'll allow you to shoot from a car or a bike, which can be very useful indeed. Then we come to the final money screen, and if you've made the same choices as me, you will have exactly $1 million to take out with you into the world, where if you keep following this guide, you'll be able to re-roll into stacks and stacks of cash in no time at all. Once you're done with the aesthetic stuff in the character creator, you'll then get to assign stats. I'd say focus mostly on shooting, stamina and strength, as they're the most annoying to raise once you start playing. After that, you'll be loaded out into the world, but you're not exposed to other players yet. This is a separate experience for new players at the moment, and what you need to do is make your way out of the police station and simply wait for a text from your mechanic, who will deliver your vehicle nearby. Following that, you'll get a text from Lamar, who tells you to collect your weapons, so jump on your bike and head over there. You'll see some enemy gang members, but don't worry about them just yet. Simply go over and grab your guns and back up a little bit. Eventually Lamar will tell you to take them out, but you can jump the gun if you want and do it right away. However it goes down though, just make your escape and get away from the hood. From there you'll just need to wait for a text from Tony Prince, who will instruct you to get over to your new nightclub. It will place a waypoint on the map, so just follow that until you get there. When you arrive, just head in the front door and you'll be greeted with a cutscene, and introduced to all of the various people that you'll be working with for the next little while. It's a pretty cool startup, so yeah, just sit back, relax and enjoy. Once that's all done and dusted, you'll be in the middle of your nightclub and just need to make your way up to the main office, which is upstairs and to the left a little bit. From there, just go over to the computer, sit yourself down and we can start doing the setups. There are 2 in total and they're really easy, so they shouldn't give you any trouble at all. First one simply requires you to pick up 4 members of staff for your new business. All you need to do is drive to the 4 blue markers on the map and the rest will explain itself. Now we just need to finish the final setup for the nightclub. This one's really easy as well. All you have to do is pick up this really cool looking party bus from a bunch of people partying out in the middle of nowhere. You don't even have to attack anyone here. Just jump in the bus and away you go. Couldn't be easier. And with that mission finished, give yourself a big pat on the back as you're all set up and ready for the start of your journey in GTA Online. Only now though, the real grind begins. Make sure you stick around and I'll be showing you how to make all kinds of money. As I mentioned before, you earn money through the popularity of your nightclub. Keep that maintained and your safe will fill up with $50,000 every in-game day, or 48 minutes real time. The popularity of your nightclub, which is shown in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, will decrease by 5% every time that 48-minute mark hits. And once that's happened twice, your profits will start to go down. So that means you will need to do a promotion mission roughly once every 1.5 hours to maintain that 50k profit margin. Luckily, the promotion of your nightclub is really simple, and the missions are so much easier than what you'd be doing if you'd pick the gun running or executive path that we discussed before. To get started, just log back onto the computer in your office and select Promote Club under the Nightclub Management tab. There's quite a variety of promotion missions available, ranging in difficulty, but none of them will give you too much trouble. Some of them you'll just need to fly a blimp or a helicopter to promote music or drop flyers. Other times you might need to collect some stolen supplies from some thugs and drive them back to the nightclub. But I mean, they're all pretty straightforward and shouldn't take more than a few minutes in most situations. At this point you're doing well, you've set up your main operation and you know how to maintain it. And that will earn you some nice passive money in the background. But now you need to start thinking about your next big business purchase. The two best earners in the game right now is a business called The Agency and the absolute cash king known as the Cayo Perico heist. I'll be covering both later on in the video, but all you need to know for now is that for either of them, you're going to need around $2.2 million, almost double what you've got now. Don't you worry one little bit though, I've got your back and will be guiding you through the whole process. To get started, we're going to want to visit my dude Hal, who will help us upgrade your newly acquired bike into an absolute racing machine. You'll receive a call from him shortly after logging into the game and be asked to come to this car symbol on the map, where he'll tell you to prove yourself worthy before receiving his help. After a short cutscene where Hal describes his operation and the services he can provide, you'll find yourself in a time trial race using his latest creation. The car handles like a fat cat trying to navigate a sharp turn on wooden floors, but luckily the target time is fairly forgiving. Next you'll need to come to the LS car meet. As a reward for passing Hal's test, he's giving you a free upgrade for your motorbike, which will boost the speed considerably. Once you come inside, you'll be greeted with another pretty cool cutscene. It basically just explains everything about the LS car meet and some of the things you can do there. Just wait it out because when it's done we can go over and see how and get that bike all boosted up. Before we get onto that though, you'll need to go over and see Mimi here, where you'll need to buy a membership to be able to access the upgrade I was talking about. Now it's going to cost you 50k, but please don't worry about that. The time trials I'll be showing you in a bit will bring in 350k by themselves, so it's totally worth it. When you finish getting your membership, come and find your bike at the LS car meet, or bring it inside if you haven't already, and then you'll see a list of options. Select mod vehicle and you'll be driven into Hal's mechanic shop. At the very top is Upgrade, and that's obviously the one you want. So hit it and you'll get a significant boost to speed. It might not look any different, but trust me, it's definitely worth doing. You then also have the option of buying the HSW modifications in each of the categories, but honestly you don't really need them. The main reason I got you to pick the Hatchet drag is for the time trials, one of which is only available if you have a Hal's upgraded vehicle. The extra mods are very expensive, and it's already an incredibly fast bike as it is, and with the basic HSW upgrade, you really shouldn't need them in order to beat the time trials. Regular time trials appear like this on the map, however they randomise every week, so just search for this icon or scroll down to it using the reference guide on the right. Once you drive out, you'll see a small purple marker on the ground. Stop on top of it and you'll see a prompt to get it started. You'll be given a destination which you may need to set a waypoint for on your map. You can get there by any means necessary, there aren't any checkpoints to collect, so just pick the best route and go for it. And assuming you don't crash or have to restart the time trial, you'll eventually be hit by the final flag. And if you made it within the prescribed time, you will now have earned yourself a tasty $100,000 to add to your collection. Next is the HSW time trials, and same as before, they randomise each week. So just look for this icon on the map and drive out to that location to find the starting point. These time trials are honestly a fair bit harder than the regular one you just did. They shouldn't give you too much trouble though, especially with the Hatchet drag. It took me about 3 attempts to get it with just the free HSW upgrade I showed you before, none of the expensive mods at all, and I probably would have gotten it sooner if it wasn't for the terrible rain on my first 2 runs. NPC drivers and bad weather are going to be your 2 biggest enemies. Just be patient, restart the time trial if you have to, and eventually you'll have a good run that gets you to the checkered flag within the time limit. Unfortunately, you can only claim the big cash reward for the time trials once a week, and to get the same money again, you have to wait until it randomizes the following week. Don't stress though, the next money making method is an absolute cracker. Now we're looking at treasure hunts, which is going to be one of your biggest earners in this beginner's guide. If you follow every step and complete all 3 hunts and the challenges associated with them, you'll receive a huge $800,000. First one kicks off by doing some bounty hunting missions for Maud over at this location on the map. Once you get here, you'll be told to wait for an email that contains your starting target. After a couple of minutes, you'll receive that and it will mark a location on your map. Head over there and you can start searching for the target. Just look around inside the yellow circle and eventually a red icon will pop up on your map, and that will be who you're looking for. You can either go the faster route and just kill them, which will get you $5,000, or you can bring them in alive by beating them and having them surrender, and receive $10,000. Once you complete 5 bounty hunts for Maud, she will let you know about some nearby treasure. Make sure you head over to this icon on your map and check it out. It's going to rake in all kinds of money. Upon your arrival, you'll find a box on the ground. Inspect it and you'll receive the stone hatchet, a totally badass melee weapon that's not only completely free, but will also help you earn $300,000 with the kill challenges that I mentioned earlier. Don't worry about that for right now though, there are 3 treasure hunts in total, each of which come with a unique weapon and a kills challenge, and I'll be showing you a really easy way of completing all of them at once when we're done collecting the various treasures. The next hunt on the agenda is for the Navy Revolver, and it can be started at any time by investigating clue number 1 on this map. The first 4 clues have fixed locations, however the final clue is randomised and can appear in one of 5 places. Because of that, it would be impossible to show you exactly where to look, but if you're struggling to find the last clue or any of the other clues, I'll include a link in the description below to a website that shows all of the possible locations in greater detail. When you search the correct randomised location after finding the first 4 clues, there will be a big black van that looks like this, that also has a very macabre sight in the back, but try to ignore that for now and investigate the clue so we can keep that money train rolling. Shortly after inspecting the van, you'll receive a text from a very angry killer that doesn't like you snooping around his crime scenes. Yep, unfortunately he's now going to be coming after us, but as long as we're prepared, it's not really going to be a big deal. You'll only attack during the hours of 7 PM and 5 AM, and in wide open spaces within the Sandy Shores region, so make your way to the airfield or a similar open area like this. When you have successfully killed him, you'll be rewarded with the Navy Revolver, and yet another kills challenge, which I'll be covering after the final treasure hunt that's coming up now. The next treasure hunt gets started after receiving an email that looks like this, which will show you a photo and mark the relevant spot on the map for you to explore. There are 20 possible locations though, so it's likely it won't be the same one that I got. Every so often it glitches and the marker doesn't show up until you're nearby, but don't stress if that happens, I'll include a link in the description below that shows the various locations that you can match with the email to find where you need to go. Once you get close, you'll start hearing a chiming sound, and when you see the clue, investigate it and you can get things underway. New locations will be marked on the map like this. You'll need to search all of the 3 spots to find the relevant clue. Just the same as before, listen out for the chiming sound and it will lead you in the right direction. When all of the clues have been discovered and you've arrived at the treasure's location, you'll find a rather grim looking scene and another box on the ground. Go and open it up to claim your prize. For some reason the animation decided to make my character invisible, but there you go, double action revolver baby. Now that you've grabbed that, you'll be informed of the final kills challenge, and a friendly little reminder that you'll need your account linked to the Rockstar Social Club in order to participate. Consoles prompt new players to join Social Club every time they boot up the game though, so you've likely done that already. The best way of completing the 3 kills challenges and earning those big payouts is by starting a contact mission. You can do so by going to the main menu, then the online tab, quick join, play job, Rockstar created, and then missions. There's a good few options here, but I'd suggest going with the mission called Peer Pressure. You don't actually have to complete the objectives, and it will provide you with a steady stream of NPCs that you can use to rack up the kill counts needed for the challenges. The best part about it is, you won't get disturbed by the cops at all. You can go on a constant rampage without being interrupted whatsoever. We'll start out with the Navy Revolver challenge first, and for this, all you need to do is get 50 kills. They can be headshots, body shots, whatever. Just as long as you take out the NPCs with the Navy Revolver, it'll count. Then, when you're finished and all 50 have been taken out, you'll get a message pop up saying that the challenge is complete, and you'll now be $200,000 richer. Next up, we'll do the Stone Hatchet Challenge, which is honestly the most fun and easiest of the bunch. Access it via the melee section of the weapon wheel, and then just unleash absolute hell on the local population. When you've slashed your way through enough NPCs, you'll be notified that you've completed the challenge and get hit with a $250,000 reward. Finally, we've got the Double Action Revolver Challenge, and this one requires you to take out 50 people. However, in this case, it's specified that only headshots will be counted, so make sure you take extra special care to line up your shots properly before firing. Same deal as before, once you're done, you'll be informed that the challenge is over, and you'll be the proud new owner of $250,000. Now that all of the weapon challenges are complete, and if you've been following this guide, you might find yourself in a similar position to me, and have already hit your $2.2 million target, possibly even exceeded it. However, don't worry one little bit if you've fallen behind. One quick method you can use to farm up some cash is by doing VIP missions. Simply register as a VIP through the Securo Serve menu, then come back into the same menu and select VIP work. There will be a few available further down, but some of them can be very challenging for new players. Try any that take your fancy, but if you want a more laid back experience, you'll want to go with Sightseer. This is super easy and just requires you to drive around to various points on the map and collect 3 packages. Often the locations are quite far apart, but with a fast motorbike at your fingertips, it won't take you any time at all. The payouts vary from 20 to 30k, which isn't that much, I know, but it's a good way of actively earning some money while you wait for your nightclub earnings to come through. Speaking of that, the other way of filling some time and making a bit of money in the process is by doing double and triple money jobs. These rotate every week, but just come to the jobs menu I showed you before and scroll through to see which game modes or missions have bonuses. When you've got that $2.2 million bankroll secured though, I highly recommend you buy a submarine, which gives you access to the best money method in the game, the Cayo Perico heist. It's a lot of fun and earns crazy money, but if you don't like the idea of a complicated heist, you can go with a method I use on my PC account, which is buying a business called The Agency. Here you can see the various agencies available, the cheapest starting at just over $2 million. If you decide to go with that, get it without any of the upgrades, you won't be needing them at all. With the basic package, you'll get access to everything you need to make all kinds of money. The main method for farming cash with The Agency is payphone hit assassinations. They're pretty fun and pay very, very nicely, especially considering they're super easy for solo players and literally only take a few minutes to complete. However, if you want to live that heist life and make the big bucks I was talking about, you're going to need to buy a submarine. To be able to purchase it though, you first have to come to the music locker, which is over here behind the casino. After going inside and paying the cover charge, go towards the M on the map, and that will kick off a lengthy cutscene with Madrazo's son, who by the end of it will give you the access you need to purchase the submarine. And now we're finally ready for the big one, folks. Let's do this. Come onto the internet via your in-game phone and go to Travel and Transport. From there, scroll to Warstock Cash and Carry, and at the very top will be the Kosatka submarine. Hit that and then proceed to ignore literally every upgrade on this page except for the flag. That one's free, so go ahead and customize it with your local. The rest of it you won't be able to afford right now, but one thing you want to start saving your money for though is the Sparrow helicopter that can be added as an upgrade later on when you've got enough cash. You'll then get a call from Pavel, who will introduce himself and tell you to make your way over to the submarine. Now just head over to the main door and look for the prompt that will allow you inside. From there, my boy Pavel will explain everything that you need to know about the Cayo Perico heist. Normally I'd make an effort to try and explain some of it myself, but honestly, Pavel's got it covered. He's a good egg. I'm not saying it's not difficult, the heist definitely has its challenges, but it's kind of geared towards solo players, and it does a good job of walking you through it. But yeah, that's about it, ladies and gents. You're now loaded up with all the knowledge you'll need to start building your empire. Whether you choose to heist with the Kosatka or run payphone hits with the agency, you'll be stacking that money in no time at all. If you did find the video useful though, please do it a kindness and tap the thumbs up button down below. And if you are new around here, do think about subscribing as well. I'm a Rockstar Games exclusive channel and I cover all things GTA Online. Until we meet again, you bunch of legends, I'm Red Nitrate and I'll catch you on the next one.